Alright, so I took a little trip, a little visit to the local hypnotherapist a while back, about 10 days now, and I thought I would go into and share that experience with you today. So, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to first start off by saying that I am and have always been a large proponent of hypnotherapy. I've used it for myself to do everything from eliminate phobias to install triggers for confidence and getting into the trance state for my magical operations. And if you want to get right down to it, magic itself is by and large an elaborate form of hypnosis. There's a little bit more to it than that, but there are some very key similarities. The most obvious of which is accessing the subconscious side of the mind and installing a set of instructions for it to follow. Reprogramming my own mind. I am my own Frankenstein. I vaguely remember in my early years that I used to have arachnophobia. I used to be afraid of spiders, which is absolutely ridiculous, logically, for a grown man to be afraid of spiders. But that's the thing about phobias, they are irrational fears. There is no logic involved. As we've gone over before, logic is ruled by the conscious side of the mind. The subconscious side is illogical, irrational, and that's where phobias are programmed. And that was my real first success with self-hypnosis. I was no longer afraid of spiders and would kill them on sight. I now would just simply pick them up and throw them out of the house. If I was a character on The Walking Dead, I would be probably Morgan. All life is precious, Daryl. But yeah, one self-hypnosis session and bam, that phobia was gone. And so any of you with phobias out there, irrational fears, and you want to get rid of them, hypnosis is the way to go, if you wish to take care of that. So if I've had pretty good success with self-hypnosis, and magic is very similar to hypnosis, why in the world would I even consider going to a hypnotherapist, as expensive as they are? And the answer to that is there are some pretty big advantages to being hypnotized by someone else. Self-hypnosis methods such as YouTube videos or audio files do work. However, it may take a while. You may have to conduct a session every day for 3 months for it to finally get through. Now, I got lucky with the arachnophobia session, and it took the very first time. But self-hypnosis doesn't always do that. Even going to see a hypnotherapist may not even do that. It may take more than one session. But the advantage to seeing someone is in what they call anchoring. They can anchor key commands to you, usually by touch or a sound, etc. They also can install triggers for you, which can be done in self-hypnosis, but only if the audio file includes it. A lot of them don't. The other advantage is that you can go to the hypnotherapist to be hypnotized for anything. When it comes to self-hypnosis and audio files, you're limited in what you can choose from, because they're typically made for the most popular issues. So if you have an unusual habit that you want to get rid of, that's not really covered by any of the pre-recorded self-hypnosis sessions that you can find, going to see a hypnotherapist that can specifically tailor a script for you is not a bad idea. And that's what it was in this case. I had some unusual habits that are not serving me. And I'm not going to go into them here because I know there's at least one group out there that's gunning for me, and I don't want to give them any ammunition. Now you may be wondering, well, as a magician, why don't I just do magic for it? And I'm not saying that I haven't, but we all know that magic can take time to manifest. It can come down to how quickly you want the change to take effect. I've had self-changes take 3 months with using just magic. So there's the time issue, and there's also the strategy issue. As a magician, I know that action supports the magic, and I'm stacking the magic. I'm accelerating the reprogramming. And so I decided to go to the hypnotherapist for a couple of these that I wanted to get rid of. So I go to the hypnotherapist and we talk a bit, and I kick back in the recliner and she just talks to me. And during it, I remember she was pinching on my hand and said that when I feel the pressure to acknowledge it. And yeah, I felt a little pressure, and later on she showed me that she had actually dug her nails into me and left a mark, that I would only feel the pressure and not the pain. I also remember getting pretty upset at one point, and she had to instruct me to go to a different place, a happier place than wherever I was. And so much of the session is just getting the person to relax. Relaxation is the key when it comes to any form of hypnosis and magic. You have to be comfortable and relax. It's very difficult to interface with the subconscious mind otherwise. So at the end of it all, I come out of it, pretty relaxed and feeling okay. Not really feeling any different, which really is the amazing thing about hypnosis, is that you don't really feel any different after you've had it done. You just do or don't do whatever the instruction was that you were reprogrammed with. And that was the case. I mean, it's been 10 days now, and so far so good, and no complaints. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience with going to the hypnotherapist. It may be a viable option for some of you who are having some sticking points. And that's another thing about going to see someone versus self-hypnosis, is that a hypnotherapist can get down to the root of the issue. They can actually go in and interface with your subconscious and ask it a series of questions to get to the root of the issue and then clear that issue. So, for example, in my case, after instructing it to release those issues, my subconscious was asked if there are any other reasons to be holding on to these issues, and it answered yes. And so those issues needed to be cleared as well. And this type of interactivity is not going to be available in a self-hypnosis recording. Part of the great work of being a magician is confronting and conquering your demons, one by one, becoming the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, of which hypnotherapy is one of the greatest tools at your disposal. I definitely plan on going back when I need it to assist me with my goals. Now, I know that hypnotherapy can be quite expensive, and it's not a financially viable option for many people, and so self-hypnosis may be the best alternative for many people right now. Again, I'm a huge proponent of self-hypnosis, and there are some great benefits to it regardless of whether you're seeing a hypnotherapist or not. For one, it can help your imaginative capabilities. It just may take a little longer in many cases, but if you stick with it, you will see change. There are so many hypnotherapists and hypnosis sessions on YouTube. You may be wondering which ones that I like. And right now I've been listening to Michael Sealey. I really like his recordings. He has a nice, soothing, relaxing voice. Emphasis on relaxing. And I encourage you to go check out his YouTube page and some of his sessions. Pick out something that is appropriate for you. Set aside some time in the evening when you can be alone and just listen and relax for 40 minutes to an hour. The key to self-hypnosis really in this fashion is to kind of ignore what they're saying. Get the conscious mind out of the way so you can hear what he's saying, but you're not really listening to him at the same time. And you want to do this without falling asleep. So it's kind of a fine line you got to ride. You can hear him, but you're not really paying attention to him, not really focusing your conscious mind on what he's saying. And you just relax to the soothing sound and tone of his voice without falling asleep. And that's, kind of the most difficult part. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link to his channel right here. And also in the description. Like, I might even just feature the channel here on the page. And I will see you next time with an all-new mailbag. Until then, as always, take care.